Okay, so remember, we're
Think of it
supposed to be
once
doing.
back.
This is an event about cyberbullying, right? You
Right.
recall
Just
that.
works.
I hope we recall that. That's why we're here. That's why we're here on a Friday.
I definitely show
Cyberbullying.
people
So,
things,
give at least one tip as to how to prevent cyberbullying. Or not prevent, but how to, if you are a victim of cyberbullying, what do you do?
A,
so-
don't listen to morons.
Okay. You only need one, so, yeah, just don't
Or
listen. That's
moron.
pretty much.
Simple.
Yeah.
Don't
You don't have to-
associate. Block them. Hack them.
Okay, you don't have to. Do not do the last one. That's one you don't do. But it all comes down to the same thing of, just ignore them. Because half the time, they have the whole internet to hide in. So, like, trying to trace down one person to do justice. And half the time, the game has systems in place where either you can block them completely and ignore them, or you could report them for bad behavior. So, I used to think reporting doesn't do anything, but you'll be surprised when it works. Because when it does work, you don't want it to work, because it's like horrible consequences. So normally
think
it
of the
doesn't
internet as,
work
like,
because
one
when it
control.
does work, the punishment is so severe that you wonder. It's like, wow, that was something. Like, and it depends on the system. Some systems they do like 24-hour bans. Some systems go like as long as permanent. Some systems just say, like, I don't know, I have not yet to see a system that revokes your ability to talk. Like, okay, you can't use the chat box for that long. That would be cool. That would be actually pretty awesome. That would prevent repeated harassment. It's like, alright, you can't use the chat feature for 24 hours.
Minecraft.
Well, that's Minecraft, though. And that's player-based. That's not an automatic system.
True.
I think it is. No, that's for spam. Spam is an automatic system. There's mods in place for that. If more systems are like that, then yeah. So you can't spam things over and over again. So you can't, if you're reported to, but then abuse of the system. You can false report, and you really have to start scrutinizing and saying, all right, is this a false positive or is this an actual positive?
Well, the internet is one big troll. So.
Okay, so that's your advice: is don't listen, block them if you can.
Yeah.
So, Stare, you're up. What's yours?
I don't know any other, so...
Someone's repeatedly calling you an asshole, and you can't block them or anything. What do you do?
Don't call your mother. That's for one. I mean, that's gonna be that's gonna make it fun for the other guy.
Don't panic.
Yeah, don't
Definitely
panic
not.
either.
Okay. So yeah, that's the difficulty. Is it's really hard to ignore something that you can't block. So try and find games where you can actually block somebody. Like, I think Dota 2 is it's kind of a good example because you can block either. You can block the voice and you can block the text. So if they try to use one or the other to breach it, all you got to do is just block them both. Then you're fine. It's just you're in a bubble. And like I always say in League, I don't need you for your mouth, I need you for your skills. And you probably vice versa. You don't need me for my mouth, you need me because I can play. That's what you need me for. That's what anybody needs them for.
Yeah, people think that skill coincides with voice.
No.
So you gotta
No,
talk to be able to be good, right?
Yeah, that's not true at all. If you're a good enough
Well,
team,
some games.
nonverbal communication usually, like, it all comes down to intuition at that point. It's like, I don't need to talk to be good. It's just, you need to be able to know the people you're playing with, know their playstyles, know their moves, know what they're going to do, and then you'll just compensate. The more you play with the same people, the way that creates groups, though. There's a counter to that, though, and the counter is that if you play like that all the time, you expect it from other people, and that's not true. Is you can't expect everybody to be at that level. Everybody's got a different skill level, and that results in some bullying. That's how you can prevent. If you are a bully, that's how you prevent being a bully.
Stop
Yes.
being a troll.
No, it's not the trolling. And sometimes trolling, and if you're gonna troll, make it funny, make it interesting, make it stupid. Or if you're gonna make it stupid, make it intellectually stupid. Like shouting Leroy Jenkins or something. Something intellectually stupid. Like it's a reference.
Ah, damn. I remember when that used to be the thing. Never got it though.
What, Leroy Jenkins?
Yeah, what the fuck is
That
that?
was because there was once a man named Leroy Jenkins. They were doing a raid, and they had to go into a place full of dragon infants, and he just ran into the room, and he drew all the aggro, and then everyone in the raid died.
Except for Leroy.
No, even Leroy died. Everybody died.
Oh. Then why is he famous?
Because he was like, all right, thumbs up, let's do this. Leroy Jenkins. Oh my God, he just ran in. That's why he's famous. Because he did a stupid.
But,
Yeah.
what?
Just because he recorded it and he put it on the internet, and then people apparently enjoyed it.
It takes so little to amuse these people.
Of course.
What
You
the
never
fuck?
know what's going to amuse people. That's the funny bit. It's like some things you think, oh, this is amusing, and it's not. But sometimes it's, oh, this is not amusing, and it's like, well, this is actually very amusing.
Everyone was saying that though, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Oh, janky. Well, now you know. It's run in and be stupid. Run in knowing you're going to die, and draw everyone else in and get them killed as well. That's
So
what it
that's
means.
essentially proxy on Forgotten Stars.
I don't know about the proxy
I mean,
thing. You're smart about it.
That's Thomas.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's Thomas. Thomas is the one to just charge in without really thinking about it, just dragging everyone else along.
Until you drop a ship on all their heads.
You got shot down. That wasn't so much the dropping.
No, I was flying it perfectly fine.
No, you were flying. I'm talking about the other one when we got our main ship shot down by
Oh, that
Necrons.
was funny.
All right, maybe we should go back to.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
your tip was I don't even remember what Stair's tip was. Zero's tip is ignore them if you can, and care about the
People are
ones who you
stupid.
actually want to hang with. I mean, like, definitely show the nice people, and like be careful with that. Just know that not everybody's going to be nice 24 hours a day. There are points. There's limits.
There are days.
Yeah, there are days, and days don't always go well. So just know it's like, all right, does the amount of good coming out of you balance out the amount of bad coming out of you? And then judge based on that. Stermon's was don't panic, I guess. I guess that was yours?
No,
Don't
those
freak out.
also zeros.
Okay, so what's yours, Stair? What do you have to the conversation?
I don't really have much.
What, you don't have a means to either prevent bullying or not be a bully? Come on. You gotta
Well,
have at
he's
least
not
one.
They've
legally.
already been said, so...
Okay, so no, there's gotta be something that we haven't covered.
Hacking.
It's always something. No.
No, zero.
I do not condone hacking. Because it's like a drug. It's once you do it once, it's easier to do, and then eventually you go down a slippery slope, and then we have more hackers in the world.
That's not
We
a
don't
bad
have
thing.
enough already. It's like just
Hackers are good people.
it depends on the hacker. Some
Sure.
hackers are not good people.
Oh, those are called, fuck, what are they called? Crackers,
Criminals?
I think?
Crackers.
No,
No,
crackers.
crackers is someone who breaks open a game's security network.
It could be about anything, actually.
Yeah, a
As long as
cracker
you
could
break
also
it.
yeah, a cracker could also be someone could be a white person. No, it's racist.
Find
Cracker
a
could
white
also be
joke.
someone who breaks into security systems, like with things like DDoS attacks.
Yeah, but that's what hackers do.
Yeah.
You shut down the
so-
server and then you hack
Yeah,
right
but
into
a
it.
cracker is, they're there just to do a specific job. A hacker is just, you can use any of those methods. Think of it as specifics. It's like, all right, cracker does specifically this job, and that's breaking security networks.
Exactly. They break. Hackers don't break. They infiltrate. Difference.
There's a difference. Anyway, we're not going with that option. So yeah, there's a bunch of ones we went over, like, don't panic, because if you're being harassed, don't panic, think it through. One of the funny ones is be nice, and that's like that pretty much deflates them. It's kind of hard to continue harassing someone who's nice to you. It's really difficult. You try it sometime. Try it sometime. It's difficult. Well, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's, especially in competitive games where it's really hard because the person's not doing too well, and it's really hard not to harass them. Because sometimes it's like you try and tell them what's wrong and they get all defensive about it.
Yeah, but they just got their jimmies all rustled up. It's their fault.
Yeah, it
There's
is,
a difference
and
between
when you
telling
put
the truth
fault on
and being
them,
a
and
troll.
some of them are nice, some of them say, yeah, sorry, I'm not the best with this character. That makes sense, but then there's the other one which says, why didn't you practice first then? Why did you just, you jumped right into the hardest thing without practicing the character? It's like, it doesn't make
You don't
sense.
learn things the easy way.
Well,
Yeah.
some games don't allow that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, we need more games like that, where there's steps. There are steps to this. If you want to play this character, you have to pass these procedures first.
You know how many games I've played the tutorials?
Yeah.
One. Literally.
Yeah, because they
Learning
don't.
the hard way
There's
is the
no
best way.
incentive really to do the tutorial, so you get a little bit of rewards, big whoop. But they got to give you
That's it.
they got to give you super rewards, and I bet if you made it mandatory to do a tutorial, people would be more skilled at games. All right, you can't actually play the game until you do the tutorial, and although you'll be reluctant at least you'll know some of the basics.
I'll never play them anyway.
Yeah.
Find a way around it.
Yep.
Tutorials are so time consuming.
That's why you have to make it short and to the point. It's like this will tell you what you need to know and nothing else. No
Which is
preamble.
none, I think. They take way too long.
Some of them don't. Depends on the tutorial. Unless it's like a prologue,
Oh.
like some games.
Okay, yeah, that's...
Yeah, prologue.
Yeah.
That's the evolution of tutorials. Is the prologue. Yeah, this tutorial is important because it's part of the story. Without it, you'll know nothing.
Way to cover your tracks.
Okay, so yeah, back on the topic of cyberbullying. Yeah, ignore. Find games where you can ignore. Don't panic. Know that you're not alone in the being bullied. I mean, there's literally millions of people that are bullied constantly, day in, day out.
I got a good one. Play a game that's within your rating.
Yeah, that's
Please.
yeah, please. Don't expect to be
love of
treated
God.
nicely on video games, because that's kind of the thing. With animosity comes hostility. That's just the way of the game. Because the more anonymous you are, the easier it is to be an asshole.
I mean, you don't really see a 30-year-old freaking out on Call of Duty.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, do you?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Oh God, I haven't had one. I had like a 10-year-old, but
You'll
damn.
see anybody freaking out. You never know who's going to freak out, because like I said, it's with A comes A, and it's with anonymous comes animosity. So the more anonymous you are, the more hostile you want to act. So the less they know, but as soon as you start getting known, you see the personality start to change. All right, yeah, they're not probably watching for this. Back to the 45 minutes we have left. So, Sains, everyone's trying, your father, he has an idea of where one of the dragons is. Is it the same one that was mentioned? If it'd roll, that'd be nice. Half our time is spending seconds waiting on a roll to happen. So he's not talking about the green. What about the red? What about the red dragon? It's like, damn it, what's happening here? Okay, so he's got the same information with the red dragon. So did you mention that to him? The whole red dragon, the clue for the red dragon.
Not yet.
Okay, so what are you gonna do? I mean.
Well, I could always go to the Heart of Fury to look for the red dragon.
Yeah. Are you saying this aloud, or are you like...
Yeah.
Okay, so... Sains is like, that sounds rather dangerous.
Also,
Okay, so... What about Oso?
also, not also.
Oh, how so? It's like, well, for one, it's a volcanic region, so... There are plenty of places to fall into active lava flows. Along with, you're searching for red dragons known for their ill tempers and amount of fury plus the ability to cast fire at whim. So that might not be the wisest decision. So he's going to ask, why are you seeking them out, though?
I'm not seeking them out. I'm seeking out the Elder Dragon.
Yeah, but that's what he's asking, is why are you seeking the Elder Dragons out?
So their power doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Okay, and he kind of smiles as like, and your hands are the right hands? Is any dragon's hands the right hands?
I'm not saying mine are, but I mean, the undead shouldn't have them.
It's like, the undead have nothing to really do with this. They don't even have the ability to contain the amount of energy we can house. They can try, but there's really no way unless... And then he kind of trails off. It's like, so he like phases through Pei and he walks towards Jala. And then they both kind of go to the side, and he's having a conversation on the side. Do you hear half of what they're saying? So, no. So they're speaking so quietly that you can't even hear what they're saying. So, does that give them a new theory? No. Well, it's like, there's only a few ways you can control them, and that's if you were to raise a dragon from the dead, then maybe we would be able to control its energy from within its body. But then he's thinking, but how would that work? Because the whole body, the whole draconic body is a giant ecosystem. The flesh, the blood, the bones, you need all the parts to contain that much magical energy. If you're missing even one piece, the overload potential is staggering. So how would the undead be able to do that? So it's like just thinking of the amount of, like, it's possible, but the amount of resources it would take to fully reconstruct the dragon under command of the undead is just, it's staggering.
Yeah, like they don't have it.
So, yeah. And that's the thing, it's like, there's likely they do have that. But now he's questioning, it's like, okay, so besides the renegade undead that we've been fighting, have we seen any signs that the undead king is involved? So you were attacked by a few rogue skeletons. It's like, or is that what they want you to think? Do they want you to think it's rogues?
I'm just thinking they want me to think that.
Okay, so it's a huge game of subterfuge, but your mother is all about huge games of subterfuge. She prided herself in that. So she's able to unravel these plans, and apparently she did.
Well.
So it's like, I think you're right. I think they are after the Great Dragon's power. Why else would you explain that they're all dying simultaneously?
Oh, and there was a lich at
Tiamat's
and it's like, temple.
And there's the lich at Tiamat's temple.
I think we're just lucked out on the black dragon.
Okay. It's like there's a strong possibility of that you were just in the right place, or maybe it wasn't that you lucked out. Maybe it was that he drew you there on purpose, knowing that his time was up, and that he needed to pass on his energy, knowing that he would survive. Same thing happened with Tiamat. He was able to pass on energy. Well, what about the other four?
And that's the reason why I'm trying to look for them.
Yeah, and that's why you're trying to look for them. So, but they haven't seen any sign nor word of them. I mean, these dragons, of the 6, the other 4 have been extremely nomadic and have not had contact. You haven't had contact with their respective flights for a long time. They try to keep to themselves. The red is particularly in the Heart of Fury. You have not seen any sign of a red dragon in the Heart of Fury, no matter how many adventurers go through there. You are the green. There's signs of that the forest is restoring itself, but there's no sign. Like Whereat went on an expedition. He didn't find him. There is the Great Yellow Drake, which no one has seen him in a while. Like, he used to be the patron for the Order of Templar before just abandoning them once he saw what they were. Which was, the Order of Templar were, in his words, pompous fools. They didn't serve the people, they served themselves with the light. So they weren't about they were pretty much thugs. They weren't really paladins. So he was disgusted by what he created and he just abandoned it. And then there's the... What's the last one? Let's see, that's nature, light...
Lightning.
Yeah, electricity, which is the sky drake. No one's been able to get up that high in the atmosphere. Nor are they able to, like, you know, how are you supposed to find a sky drake?
Well...
So it's like, bleh. It's like, it's just you haven't had contact with any of them, and the legend only points to one of them, which is the red drake. So, does they have any input on any of it? So, who has input? Roll a d3. So, Fico is the one who can... And Fico is like, you know, you can tell that he's definitely, like, how you used to say, like, when you first met him, he was, like, happy-go-lucky, and he was kind of mischievous, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you can see that ever since things are starting to get more serious, he himself is getting more serious. So it's, these rolls are taking forever. I'm literally just sitting here waiting for it. Okay, so it's like, so that's your reasoning. You want to keep the power out of evil hands, and you want to prevent the undead from taking over the land.
Yes.
Okay. So... Why does it do this? I wonder if I can use... Hold on, let me try something. Maybe it's because... Let me check the internal coding of that. Maybe it's just the way it's formatted. Okay, let me try the other formatting and see if it's a little faster. Nope, that is... I forgot about inline code.
Well...
It says /roll. /roll D100. It's been a while since I rolled the standard D100. No, it's not any faster. I don't know what's happening with this. Maybe it is the recording software.
Could also
up
be
all the...
it's just Roll20.
Nah, I can't.
I mean, they might have
well,
a
it's
lot of
working
traffic.
for you guys fine, right? You can roll like lickety split.
Yeah.
Did you roll?
Oh well. No.
Okay, so somebody roll something. I'm gonna roll something. Okay, so mine worked. Ah, well, it's just something we can deal with. Anyway, so Fico just comes out and says, you know, I was just wondering about, you know, your motives, because it seemed like, because you know, a lot of people have asked the same question: where are the great dragons? Not all of them have been pure of heart or have been doing it for the right reasons. So is he going to be... So it's like, you know, suffice to say that you're one of the few who actually wants to seek them for the right reasons. And so he's going to tell you exactly where they are, because he knows where they are. He was just holding the information to wait and see, you know, what is your intent? Is it you're out for... Because, you know, in his mind he's thinking, you know, this is another power-hungry adventurer. But now that he sees that, you know, you're not, that you've pretty much risked life and limb for people you don't even know.
If I was a power-hungry adventurer, I would have gone for Tiamat's egg, not any of the others.
Why is that? Why so that?
I'm a water drake.
Okay, so you would have gone for Tiamat. You did go for Tiamat's egg, though.
Yeah, but I didn't take it.
Because Kruv took it first. Okay, but anyway, the point still stands that, you know, he knows where the other 4 dragons are.
Nice.
So he's pretty much going to fill you in on all of that. So the red drake was put, like, he's going to do it one at a time. He's not going to let you try and do them all at the same time. Because each one is an adventure in itself. So number 1 is the one you've probably been hinting at, and the one you just looked up was the red drake, also known as the Red Fury.
Wait.
Why they call him that is because he's responsible for making the Heart of Fury the Heart of Fury. Meaning he was the one that destabilized the region and made it so that it became volcanic. That place wasn't volcanic when it started. It used to be a luscious green area, but then came the Red Fury and he turned it into a blasted landscape. His reason... No, his drake. That drake does not breathe fire. It's a water drake. So his reason was because he was trying to stop the dormant one, and he's thought that if I made the zone unpassable, if I used volcanic rock to make ablative layers to prevent it from rising, maybe I can save the world. But then slowly, everybody realized the dormant one was not evil. It's just children that are evil, and then he felt like he just betrayed the thing's trust because he tried to. Now he is sealed away. The dormant one can't rise without destroying the land, and the Red Fury is a bit responsible. In fact, he's very responsible because he destabilized the whole region, and so when the dormant one comes up, it'll destroy most of the area around it.
Oh.
So he basically went to a great sleep, and he's still asleep under the Heart of Fury somewhere. So, okay, was there any can he give you any hints? He can give you hints. It's but if you likely you could contact the spirits of the red dragons in that area because not all the red dragons survived in that area. So maybe you can find some, at least spirits, to guide you in the right direction.
I'm writing this down as you...
Yep, that's the point. You gotta, or else you're gonna forget. That's so, and he is... Let's see, does he give you a warning? Let's actually go roll that. So everything's falling into place now that Fico's pretty much established that you're here for the good, not for your own purposes. And so he said, I forgot what my train of thought just stopped. I'm trying to get it back.
That was
Red Dragons
giving me a warning.
Okay, giving you a warning. It's like the Red Fury is not called so for his calm demeanor. So do your best to show signs of respect, and you have to prove to him that you're not there to... Actually, hold on, let me roll that too. So, he says prove to him, and then he stops for a second, and he thinks. Then it's like, oh yeah, not all the great dragons were male. So
Wait, what?
the Red Fury was female. And that's the biggest problem is, she's got angered because, not only did she suffer, not only did she betray the dormant one and the people of this land, she also betrayed her own children because she turned their home into a blasted landscape. So she's burning with betrayal. So that hatred for herself is going to change a lot of how she thinks. So her warning is, just be as passive as possible and try not to set her off. Because who knows what a person so stricken with guilt and grief could feel.
Well.
So, Fico, he's going to be honest. It's he can't help you with this. As much as he wants to help you with this, he can't help you with this. This is a quest you have to undertake on your own. Just you and those who travel with you. Fico will not get involved with the affairs of the Red Dragons because he's a spirit. It's not within his purview to. He can only give you information. The rest is up to you. He can't even teleport you anywhere. If it revolves around this quest, he's not going to have his hand anywhere in this because he's with the dead, and if the dead feel like he's betraying them and their trust in him by giving you this information, then there's less souls in the unliving and more getting driven into the undead. So for political reasons, he can't help you.
Oh well.
Yeah. So oh well.
It's not that far.
Yeah, it's a little. You could walk that far. So you're not even gonna bother.
Actually, I'm gonna back up on food.
Okay. It's just D20. type of food. How much is food today? Haha, you got gypped. It's 40 because it's a crit.
What?
Yeah. Oh no, it's 20. Sorry, I forgot the crit doesn't count here. My bad.
That
so
would just be bullshit.
that's 60. Food's getting expensive.
Well, it just came from really low to... Yeah, well...
Yeah, so the prices fluctuate all the time. So 60 it is. So that's all 3 meals. And
Yes.
so the big... So you're just going to leave immediately. You're not going to... Why are my rolls taking so
I was gonna
long?
wait. Unless someone stops me on my way out, but...
Okay, so hold up. So Troy can't move. Pay... Igro and Pay do wake up at that point. So what's Pay's opinion? I don't know why it's lagging like that. So Pay is like, you know, she says, wait. Just, you know, don't go anywhere yet.
Alright then.
She's awake. And so Jalen's, your father and mother are going to dematerialize. They're gonna, you know, this is on your head now. This is in your hands. They did what they could, but now it's up to you. So it's like, so you're gonna go see her, aren't you?
If you are talking about the other red dragon, then
It's
yes.
like, you already know who I'm talking about. Who else would it, you know? You're packing up like you're going on an adventure, and I can hear enough during unconsciousness to know that you're going to go see the Red Fury.
Yes, I am. At least if she still lives.
So, what is... I don't know why... I gotta figure out why that does that. So... And she says, you can't go without someone to take the egg. So, you know, if this is going to happen, you need someone that could be a suitable vessel
Damn it.
to house the egg. It's not going to be that easy. You know, for the Black Dragon, it was me. And for Kruv, it was... No, and for Tiamat, it was Kruv. So you need to bring a vessel, someone that's important to the Red Dragon. But that's the problem, is the Red Fury, no one is important to her anymore. She's so stricken with grief that she doesn't get close to anyone. So who would be a suitable vessel?
I'm important.
Why
No,
would
you're
she
not.
give you... Yeah, she would not give you her child. She can sense the evil. And sense
There's no
the...
evil.
And you're not a dragon.
And you're not a dragon either. So yeah, if you've noticed, it goes from dragon to dragon.
I'm dragon looking. I have their genetics.
Yeah, he has to, so he can fake it, but still, it's like, I don't think they would pass the egg on like that.
They would smell you out.
Yeah. Plus, it would become corrupted. I don't think with her guilt, yeah, that would probably not happen.
Damn. Here I am trying to help you.
Yeah, help yourself. You're trying to help yourself. Someone. Okay, so it comes down to now. It's like, you know, when you're out there, you need to find a red dragon who's willing to take the charge, or you need to find some dragon who's willing to take that.
Well,
Because without it, you know, without it, your chances of you don't have a chance of success. There is no success. You'll find her, but she might just pass on at that point, and then, you know, it's over. Her power's already gone.
damn it. Make a good point. Every single one of the...
Okay, so
No, actually, both of the elder dragons I've met have done that.
Igro's pretty much beaten up. I mean, like, one of his arms is to his side, and like he's having a hard time standing, but he's still trying to stand, and he's walking over. Tess is trying to get him back in the bed, but Igro just kind of nudges him off, and Igro just says, you know, I can do it. So, what is Pei's immediate response to that exclamation? Okay, so she immediately says no. It's like, you know, that's foolish. That wouldn't work. There's no way that could work.
Why not?
So, It's like, he's too young. He's too, what does he know about taking care of children? I mean, he's still a boy, still in his teens. What does he know about children? And Igro's response is, but I'm not corrupted by the horrors of the world yet. I'm still, in a way, as you guys say, naive. I still don't have the hatred that such adventuring should bring, so, maybe I could be pure enough for her to give me her legacy. Compared to another dragon which is more driven by anger. So, it's worth a shot. It's better than no option at all. I mean, what's your other option? Find a random red dragon that may or may not be as angry as their mother?
I could be a possible option.
Okay. It's like, and he shakes his head, it's like, I wouldn't wish that on you. You have your own life to live. Me, it's just, his life is just starting, but, he can see himself doing this. It's better to have a willing hero. For him, it's like, it's better to have a willing hero than a reluctant one. So, he's willing to do this. So, what is his prerogative?
You have to make sure your wounds heal first.
Okay, so it's like, we don't have time for that. For all we know, she's going to be passing on very soon. She may already be passed on, and we have to get there in time. Just, we don't have time to wait and see if I'm capable of doing. So, that's why he's asking for your help. It's like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to need your help.
I wasn't planning on letting you do this alone.
Okay, so... Also is on board, though. It's like, it's not like we have much choice. I mean, we're running out of options.
True.
What's Pei's opinion? Is Pei being swayed by any of this? At all. Like, in any way, shape, or form. So,
yes.
She is getting swayed. Like, everybody's slowly agreeing that, it's worth a shot. Even Troik, who's badly burned. And parts of his soul were torn out and then replaced. Like, even he's starting to agree. It's like, let the boy prove his worth. He wants, this is his chance to prove what he's worth, and why should we deny that to him? Who are we to, and also, who are we to deny that to them? He wants to choose to spend his life this way. Who are we to stop him? So Igro, he's still in a pretty bad way, so also is likely going to have to carry him, which means likely her defenses are going to be lowered by 1. So she'll have to defend both of them. They act as one entity, but she'll have to defend both of them, and she only has 1 defense. So she's going to just carry Igro where he needs to go, and you're just going to have to lead the way and make sure they're safe.
Let's leave it then.
Okay, so you pretty much no preamble, just go straight out. Alright, so some of the garrison is willing to come with you. You can bring a squad.
No. I'm
No,
going
you're
to
not
leave
gonna-
all of them here.
Okay, so you're going to leave them here and go it alone. Let's see, do they insist? So one of them insists, and that's the headhunter. He pretty much, you said, no, I need you to be here, but he says, if this is gonna change the land and this is gonna save the world and change the people, then, he wants to be a part of that. So, it's, I think is this like a personal vendetta? So, no, it's more of a, he's done enough for himself. He's felt like he's done enough for himself, so he wants to be part of something that's not for himself. He's a headhunter. All he's cared about was taking the heads of his enemies and being the greatest warrior. But I mean, now he's starting to realize, what's the point of being the greatest warrior if you've got nothing? That's all you are, is the greatest warrior. But then who cares? No one cares.
That's the reason why I want him here and not with me. We can defend this place.
This is not open to negotiation. He's going to come with you. It's like, have more faith in the people under your command. They can handle themselves. You're going to need as much help as you can get, especially where you're going. It's like, does he, like, crack a joke? This roll for, he cracks a joke. It's like, it's better me than a whole army, right? At least with me, it's like I'm expandable in a way. I can be lost. It's worse if you lose most of your army.
The reason why I'd rather have everyone here.
Okay, so, but again, like he said, this isn't open for debate. He's coming with you, whether you like it or not.
Oh well.
Okay, so you guys are ready for the adventure, and you guys leave this threshold and such and such. Okay, let's go to Sains, and then we'll end there. Are we coming back on Saturday, or are we just gonna... What are we gonna do?
Good question. Not sure for Saturday. I hope I can make it.
Well, if you can't make it, then we'll just skip and go to Sunday. If we can't make Sunday, then then that means we can advance the time and then blah blah blah. So, okay, so we go to the map. Back at your little hold in the middle of nowhere.
It's somewhere.
Somewhere that there's nowhere.
It's still somewhere.
Okay, so that's a whole nother adventure. Alright, so we're back at his keep. They're trying to mobilize for an assault. You don't even know where the thing is, do you? Like, do you have a feeling that you don't even know where the nest is, if there is a nest?
How about Strom? She's the headhunter.
Okay, so Strom is a tracker as well, so she can easily just pick up. Alright, so they came from generally this direction, so to the south. Let's see, does she know a little bit more about their biology? Not so much. What about Opry? So Opry's the one who did a little bit more into their biology. It's like, these things are amphibious. They can live and breathe underwater because they have gills and other things that make them able to swim. Although their frames are very boxy, they're actually rather light. And they have ballast, they have like internal ballast on the inside, so they can actually float. They can float and sink at will. So she has a feeling that these things came from the lake. They didn't show any evidence of being from the lake, though, because their bodies were completely dry. They weren't wet at all. It's like, so... And she did a little bit of experimentation with the chitin, and the chitin is actually like a sponge. It's absorbent. So it absorbs the water. It absorbs the water and liquids in it so that when they reach the land, their chitin dries extremely easily. Think of themselves like they just squeeze themselves and the water comes out, and then they just kind of shake a little bit, and then there's no more water on them. Dangerous, very dangerous. I don't know, do you want them to do an amphibious? They can do an amphibious assault. Because they can swim. And they can swim really well. Did we just lose you? I think we did. Stare, are you still alive?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I think we just lost Zero.
And well.
Sorry about that. I had to get my grandmother.
Okay. You get to get your grandmother.
Yeah, it's a long-ass story.
Okay, anyway.
Anyhow.
So, these things are amphibious. They can swim. They likely came from under the water, and their nest may be at the bottom of the lake.
Huh. Well, all of them could swim. They have the gills and whatnot.
Yeah, and they have the gills to breathe underwater.
And the hands, so...
Yeah, so they can swim. They can easily make a aquatic assault happen. Let's see, what is... So Opry runs out of info, and that's when... So it's pretty much a war council. Are you actually are you near the war council? Or are you carrying it all?
Well, they could discuss it for now.
Okay, so
I have
like
faith in them.
Strom is the one who says, they likely came from the south, but Opry's the one who came in with the science saying, these are amphibious creatures. They likely didn't come from the south. That's a diversion. They're likely coming from the lake. And so Freve was more like, but they're not going to be, they probably just sent a skirmish force. Who knows how many of those things are down there? There could be an entire colony, which could be no less than 50 to 100.
Huh.
We had a hard enough time fighting the ones you had, and not without casualties. And then you're sending a small force against even more of them, including whatever counts as leaders. So, just got an idea. It's like, we're not bringing the tank.
No.
Even though it's amphibious, it's like, we don't want to risk the tank.
Though, in that case, if they have more numbers, I could send in a scout unit, have the rest of the units get more people like us, so and start infecting the crap out of whatever.
So that's the problem, is it'll take a while. So it'll take a while to get more reinforcements. So they could scout it, but the risk of losing people is pretty high.
Yeah, it's only
because you were
few.
fighting them out of their element. Think how violent they are in their element.
What if I send a squad of 2 guys to scout stealthily?
Okay, so it's like no one in that room is willing to volunteer for that.
You pussies.
Yeah, they're not gonna risk their lives for no purpose.
Well, it's not like they have any free will, the other bastards.
Okay, so are you gonna exert your will and say you're going to do this?
I'll leave the commanders out of it. They have their free will.
No, not the commanders. I meant like the smaller units, the regular soldiers.
Yeah, I will command them to do it. Well, the 2, at least.
Which is irresistible. So at that point, you kind of get a feeling that things aren't going your way. So you do like a mental peer, and it's like, oh, this isn't going my way, and then you just kind of flick your hand, and then 2 of them volunteer.
And I'll have a few of the rest go and make more reinforcements for us.
Okay, so
just to make it more fair.
They're willing to follow that order willingly, because it's like, oh yeah, sure, great idea. Later,
take as many as they can,
okay.
As many people as they can infect.
Okay, so there's not a lot in this area. I mean, you're in a cold environment. There's not much around here.
They can explore the outer areas as well, anywhere.
So, what you can get is wildlife. There are wildlife around.
But they can't really swim.
Yeah, they can't really swim under the water, which is the problem.
If I have humanoid things, it's a lot easier. Okay. They're like universal.
Yeah, but also you have to think, if you infect them with your virus, don't they also get the amphibiousness? You can make them amphibious, because that's part of your knowledge stream, and that which transfers to your allies that you infect.
In that case, go get some wolves and shit.
So, wolves, not so much bears, but you do get a couple of bear men. So, so do a D100. How big of a force are we looking at? This is the prep to assault. So not a lot. So roll a D5. And then roll a second D5. So 2 wolves and and mostly 4 bearmen. So
That's
so
not
the wolves, because they're base beasts, you give them intelligence. They don't have intelligence naturally. Okay, so what is that under? I think that's under Greenland's forest. Okay, so roll a D2. What type of wolves are we looking at? Okay, so we're looking at feral wolves, which are supposedly stronger than standard wolves.
Let them breed or something.
Because the feral wolf is, they're considered unholy creatures.
Oh, that's good.
Because they're feral. Let's see, so... Let me read up the lore. Feral wolves are ravenous creatures that prowl the lands, killing all they find. They don't always eat their prey, sometimes leaving a body mauled after killing it.
Huh.
So,
I like them.
Sometimes they do it just for sport, and to sharpen their killing skills. So sometimes they don't just eat things, they sometimes just kill things just to be better hunters. And then you have the bear man, which are They're supposed to be honorable creatures, but I guess you corrupted them, so maybe they're not so honorable now.
Should I leave their honor intact, I wonder?
No. It's up to you. Well, D100, do you actually leave there? Is enough? Does the virus, like, okay, so that's enough. So you do not leave their honor intact. It's consumed everything. They're just simply pawns now. So they're supposedly very strong. Like it's a bit better than your standard infantry. But still, compared to an army of like 50 to 100, it might still not be enough.
Yeah.
You still need to go out recruiting for more.
What if we were to do an infection campaign?
Okay.
Just to get a shit ton of reinforcements.
Can you? No.
No.
So, not without breaking your subtlety. Because, remember, you're still trying to stay under the radar. Until you undo that doctrine and you just say, you know what, I don't care about subtlety, I just want to be known by everybody that this is what I am, then you can do the more elaborate stuff. But for now, since you're still in a campaign of subtlety, you can only get little trickles of infantry and stuff. Just enough to... Because you need to keep it small so you can hide the army. Otherwise, they'll know.
Damn, I gotta find a way to get a bloody army.
Yeah, it's called reveal yourself, but
Yeah,
that's
but
not
that's
not an option, man. That's not an option.
Makes it a lot easier if they don't know exactly what you are.
Yep. I don't know about that. So depends on who's making it. It's easier for who.
Me.
Not so much because you don't get your army, or you don't get your army as fast. It's slow trickle.
But then people don't know exactly what I'm capable of.
Yep.
Which
it's
is
50-50.
Oh, shit. Can they create special ordnance for the tank to fire within the water, so...
Do you have any... They're not bringing the tank, so...
No, but I can shoot from the surface.
You can shoot from the surface, but they're not near the surface.
I know, that's what I mean, like depth charges, sort of.
What, so just launch it like artillery? I don't know. No, so...
Shit. Torpedoes.
Okay. Again, that's something you need in the water. And also, it's the risk of, okay, it's bad enough when you get friendly fire already. With underwater ordnance, that'll be even worse. Because that's all through motion detection and sonar, which you could easily hit something that's friendly.
You could have an IFF, that's what it is.
IFF for sonar, and I don't see that happening.
Why not?
Why would sonar and motion detection be friend or foe?
You could have friendly pings classify a ping back as friendly. If not, then go towards it.
Sorry, we're not that sophisticated with that. Well, she's not that sophisticated with her ordnance. It's really just if it sees a certain level of motion, it detonates. That's how it works. And the sonar is look for the big thing and go towards it and then explode.
Yeah, and it's a preemptive attack. An attack before the attack.
Okay, so as a preemptive attack, it would work. You're just saturating the area with explosives.
Yeah.
So D100, would that work? Or would that actually not so much?
Fuck.
You don't have the ordnance.
You
didn't bring a lot when you got here, so you'll have to get more ordnance before you actually attempt to do that.
Okay, I task them with A, infecting people, B, bringing ordnance and such.
Okay, so this will be like next session.
Other general things.
Which I don't even know if it's Saturday or Sunday. We'll see how that goes. So you have the two tasks, which is recruit more allies and get more ordnance. And all the while you have to see, alright, will they do a counter-campaign? Will they try and destroy your house and in the time that you're trying to kill them?
Not everybody is going, though.
Yeah.
Of course. Going to leave a defensive force.
It's really, okay, you're setting up, right? Well, they're not just going to let you set up. They're going to try to kill you in the meantime. So you get to see, okay, well, are they actually going to succeed or not?
Oh, man.
Because you have a limited force here, and they likely know it. They likely know that you have a limited force.
How so?
Because they're right there. They're in the water, and they're like predators. And apparently they're a lot smarter than standard dumb predators. Somewhat.
In that case, also bring me a chameleon or something that camouflages itself.
You're asking a little bit. Let's see. Actually, can they do that? So you're going to have a hard time finding something that has chameleonic properties. Because there's not a lot of things out there that have that.
There's still a chance.
Was there any creatures you've encountered in your long history that have those properties?
Good question. I'm not sure.
I don't think any of them do.
Well, I mean, there's bugs and not bugs, but animals, tiny ones.
Okay. Bugs and animals that we haven't really encountered. Remember, it's your minions are the ones doing all this, not you, and they haven't encountered it.
But I've infected bugs and animals.
Yeah, well, those would be any of them chameleonic.
But they might have seen them, and they could have transferred the data onto the minions. So many options.
Are there any other rumors? So you guys have not collected any extra information?
Shit.